Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Real Late with Peter Rosenberg on Hot 97. And so I got a message this week. Someone was like, yo, Junior Galette wants to come talk to you. And I was like, well, he's on the Washington Redskins, so he can come talk to me anytime he wants to. And they were like, and he has an artist, a man named Corey Finesse. So this is where we are right now. And Cory Finesse, you are from Brooklyn, New York City.
Facts.
Facts. And you say that based on facts.
Facts.
Nice to meet you, first of all.
Nice to meet you too, bro.
It's a pleasure. Junior, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too, man.
All right, so where do you want to start? You want to start with the Cory Finesse music talk and then go to the Junior Galette football talk? Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want, man.
Let's start with Cory Finesse.
Yeah,
and then we're going to start with you, Cory, and then we're going to come back and have you spit some bars at the end. How about that?
No problem.
All right, so what's your come up? I know you're Jamaican.
Facts.
And you're from the 90s.
Yeah, I'm from East Flatbush.
And how would you describe your music stylistically?
I would say like a trap soul, very melodic. I sing, I rap, I do everything.
And how do you feel about where things are at in Brooklyn? Obviously, you're from around the same area as Bobby and Rowdy Rebel and those guys. And
yeah.
Nice moment was going there. Of course, things have been slowed down based on their situation. But where do you think things are at in that part of Brooklyn musically? We in a good spot?
Barely.
Did it feel like momentum was going when the record popped off for them?
Yeah, definitely did. It was so lit. Everything turned up. It was different.
And was there a lot of support locally? Like a lot of times,
all over, bro. Queen, Brooklyn was supporting, like even schools, everywhere.
Because a lot of times people think that when someone kind of pops up out of a rough area, the tendency is as much support as there is, there'll be a lot of hate as well. But you're saying it was overwhelmingly love.
Yeah, it was love. It was love.
And do you have a relationship with Bobby Schmurder and those guys?
And Rebel. Yeah, those are my childhood friends.
Really? So
Yeah,
just
we all
from around the
grew up
way?
together. Facts. We all grew up together.
And were you always into rap?
Yeah, I was always into rap. I recorded my first song when I was 9.
Oh wow, you're like a little Bow Wow.
Facts.
So you were going that hard. You always were into it.
Always.
Who were your favorites as a kid?
I came up like my father sings.
Oh really?
My uncle sings. Boys to Men. I got an old soul too. That's why I was singing from Jay-Z to Boys to Men. To New Edition.
Did your father sing professionally?
No, he didn't sing professionally.
But he just liked to sing. It was in your house.
He loved to sing. DJ, Jamaican.
Yeah, right. Just Jamaican musical kind of household.
Yeah, household.
And Junior, you are Haitian.
Yes.
And how did you guys connect? What's the connection here?
Well, I mean, obviously, I was listening to a lot of, Bobby and the GS9, and then I heard his songs. Him and Corey and Billy was, my favorite out the whole camp. The different type of trap soul that they're making, and they're so much more versatile. And I literally contacted him through Facebook. Once I tore my Achilles, I had to find something to do.
Believe me, I know you did. I know it very well.
Yeah, all right. So I was just sitting at home, just bored. Like, man, I can't come here, after rehab, 11 o'clock, just staring at the walls. I'm going crazy. And everybody else is at practice, till, about 5 o'clock. So a whole different routine. I've never been, off and not been able to do anything. So I just, felt so lazy. And I just kept listening to music. And one of my favorite songs was Zogod. And I would just, play that to help me get through, just my morning. I'd play that.
So why Zogod? You're not Haitian, you're Jamaican.
Yeah.
Why the Zogod record? Obviously that resonated with you, Junior. But
I knew that was coming.
It's a different
type of Zo, but it still have multiple meanings. Like all of my friends are Haitian.
We got it.
Like my close friends, and they call me like, they call the Haitians the Zos.
Of course.
And I speak a little Creole too, so.
Oh, Scotty being pretentious she's Haitian. That's nice.
and so I'm fake Haitian. I'm with you, girl.
So it resonated with you, Junior, and you just reached out. What's it like? Like, did you know who Junior Galette was? Are you a sports fan, or was it just like some rich football players trying to get a hold of you?
It's funny because I'm not I don't even watch TV, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I fall asleep putting on a movie.
He doesn't even understand football.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of artists don't really care at all.
I'd be like, "What's going on, bro?" He tell me, "Got to get a sack." Like, the question marks popping up in my head.
So to you, it was just basically a businessman reaching out because they were interested in your music.
Nah, I reached out.
Yeah,
right.
Reached out, but we built a relationship first. It's before any of signing and any of that.
And he just said, "I want to build," and y'all
we
started.
built
the
the
relationship.
friendship. We
That's
became
my
real
big goal
close friends. You know what I'm saying?
For
And
anything.
there's just a lot of loyalty there. Obviously, I brought him in a billion, and he's the only one, next to me right now because of his dedication. Watching him just sleep in the studio, like this kid He's put out he's made so many songs literally in the past few months that he's gonna take over. He's gonna take off.
I'm excited to hear about this, Corey Finesse. 'Cause I got to tell you, for us, we were the Bobby situation sort of left a hole. You know what I'm saying? That's a bummer.
Yeah.
We all felt bad about it. Although, I mean, it's funny. In some ways, it was predictable, kind of what happened. Like that, you could see that they were well. You could sense that in my opinion, Bobby's a really sweet kid. Like I love Bobby. Rowdy too. I really loved getting to know them. Like because in the months that they were popping, I saw them over and over and over again, and really was fond of them. Still am. But I knew that very recently they had been very closely connected to a lot of things, and you never know when that stuff can come back to bite you, especially when you have a hit and now you're on the radar, and now people want to send a message because that you're popping. So there are risks involved in that, right?
Definitely.
Always. So not only do I personally feel really bad about their situation because I just feel there's a lot of things that are unfair about it, and it makes me sad. But also musically, it left a little bit of a hole because all of a sudden we had this stuff that was popping in Brooklyn.
There's a pause, yeah.
And now it was like, oh, we just started going. So
I see the fans talk about it all the time.
Yeah, like there has because New York has. Let's just keep it real.
Corey has that enough talent to bring that New York back to his feet.
Well, I'm excited to hear that. And we're gonna hear you spit some bars a little bit.
Sauvage, and I got the Savage in me, and I got Trap Soul, man.
So you like to rap, you like to sing, you like to do all that.
Everything.
And I love that you grew up on music. That's a very important piece. So we want to hear you spit some bars in a minute. Now, Junior, let's have some football talk for a minute, shall we? How are you feeling physically?
I'm feeling great, man. I just did an interview yesterday, and they asked me the same thing. They asked me if I was 100%, 90%. But I can't really put a number out there till I go out there and see how I feel the days after. Like, obviously, I can go out and, practice hard and do everything that I could do before. And I feel more explosive than I was before the injury. Because I got to, during the rehab, I got to work on a lot of parts of my body that, weren't really functioning as good as, they weren't even. So I really feel better, but I just got to see how it is after I go through, 4 or 5, camp practices.
What are you, a week out? We're a week out now?
Yeah, Wednesday we start.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday you go down to Richmond?
Richmond, yeah.
And who have you, because you were gone, it's weird. You join a team and then you get hurt.
Right.
So who did you stay in contact with the most? Are there any players that you did develop?
Actually, when I got there, the players embraced me so well. That's why I stayed. Like, I had 4 other visits that I had to go to, and they're like, nah, you're not leaving the building. And I knew a few players on the team already. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they had knew me. And so the relationship was already there. And once I got there, about practice for about 3.5 weeks, and obviously I was trying to I had lost that, $50 million deal, and I was trying to get that back again. So I was literally overcompensating, to get that again. And I was going hard, like literally, staying after practice.
Oh, well, people were saying, believe me, the conversation was like, oh my gosh, this Junior Galette's going to make a major impact for this team.
Right.
And then it was weird as a fan because I didn't get a chance. I haven't seen you at all yet.
Right.
So it's weird because you're someone I'm excited about. So when I was talking to, we lost some pieces this year. We lost Terrence Knight, and there's some people who left the team who were there last year. But I was actually on First Take last week, and we were talking. I brought you up because they were talking about pieces that we lost, and I was like, "But we're also getting Galette back." Like there's, and the team ended up in a really exciting sort of place last year. Is there anyone that you hear from the most? Like, do you hear from some of the leaders on the team, D Hall, some of the
we speak the team that right here. Like I was, obviously I was in the Saints for 5 years. I've never had in the short time I've been with the Redskins, I haven't had as close a relationship that I've had with the guys because you have some of the veteran guys that reach out to me and the younger guys look up to me. So we speak all the time, about what we plan on doing this season and turning things around. And obviously they had some success last year, but you can't feed off of that. It's a whole new year, a whole new ball game, and we got to take it one game at a time. So I keep in contact with everybody.
Have you connected with Josh Norman yet?
Yeah, facts. That was I think it was in March. I was in Miami for my birthday, and he had a section literally right next to me. We was I think in Dream or some nightclub, and he was like, "Yo, Dream," I'm like, "Oh, it's Josh right next to me, right?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Man, you about to sign back? You can't sign with Carolina." He was like, "Man, you need to come to Carolina." And at that time, on the law, I was like, "Man, I think I need to go to Carolina." You know what I'm saying?
Josh Norman.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, it just turns out that he ended up with the Redskins, and I went to go see him the day he signed. He was coming. I went over there, and it was like, yo, it's crazy. We was just talking about this, and we ended up the same team. So, and he's like a team guy first. He's not a me guy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't bring attention to himself. and he works hard as well. So when you got the best players on your team that are your hardest workers, anything's possible, and I feel like we have that capability.
All right, so I want to ask you one tough question. Obviously, when you came to the team, you came with some controversy, right? With some baggage to your history. I don't want to ask you about the specific circumstances, right? Because I know what the story is with those circumstances.
Right.
But what I will say is this, regardless of what happened in those circumstances, and I tend to be the guy who in sports talk radio looks from the perspective, because I do ESPN as well, looks from the perspective of the person, because I think sometimes we get away from thinking about what people are like as people,
Right.
and that situations happen, and not everything's as plain and simple as it appears. However, I will also say that sometimes situations come up with people because sometimes of the situations they put themselves in their life, and they're more likely to have situations occur. Do you feel that at the place you're in life right now, you feel very good moving forward, that you're removed from any sort of crazy situations that could happen around you?
Facts. I feel like I'm definitely in a much better place, a much better light. My circle's a lot smaller. And I don't, do as much as the partying and going out as I used to. And what's crazy, they say you came with a lot of backs. I was a captain in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a team vote, and I had more votes than anybody else on the team.
It's funny because I didn't really hear much about that.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You hear about the negative stuff.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard you hear you're very good,
Right.
and then you hear about a couple of incidents that happened.
But you don't hear that this guy was a team captain, voted by the players. And
you were there for what, 5 years?
5 years, right.
So people get a chance to know you pretty well.
Right. But it is what it is. People have a short-term memory. And
Well, I will say this: the Redskins went through. I remember when you got signed, and I mean, in one sense, it makes me happy that our fan base cares, right? Like, I do want people to care about the kind of people we put in the locker room. Like, I'll say that right now. I didn't want the Redskins to go out and get Greg Hardy. Like, that's not something I'm interested in as a Redskins. As good as he is, I know for players they're hard to understand that because they're like, but especially because I'm telling you, you're on a team now that has its own share of negative energy that's existed over the last decade, right? So I was happy that people care, but at the same time, the Redskins made me always, as a fan, feel very comfortable that when they met with you, they were like, we feel really good about Junior Galette, and we wouldn't have him here if we didn't feel really good about him. So I think the fan base is very excited to see you get out there, and especially to see how close we were. I was at the game, the Green Bay playoff game last year, and to see us in a situation where I was like, man, we're one.
He's a pass rush.
Exactly. I know, because
we're up 11-0 that game. That's what a lot of people don't even remember. We were up 11-0.
So we're up 11-0, and I'm sitting there with my wife, and I'm like, if we just let Aaron Rodgers sit back there and be Aaron Rodgers, he's eventually going to win. He's the best quarterback in football. You can't just let him be. But one of the quotes I was reading about you yesterday from Trent Williams was about how in Pro Football Focus they rank you for how much you hurry quarterbacks and how much you just interfere. And that's really what we need. Sacks are great, but if you can just force errant throws, that's something this team needs. Quarterbacks can't have that long to stand around and look. But offensively, love the pieces they have in place. I love that they went and got Josh Norman. I'm excited about the season.
Piece.
Yeah, I picked the Redskins to win the division. I think there's no reason we can't.
I've never been on a deep team period as talented as a team I'm on right now. In 2011, we went 13-3, won about 12 games in a row. Had the city rocking in New Orleans. But this team right here is as talented as any team or better that I've played on. But I can say that right now, but we still got to go out there and put in the work. You know what I'm saying? We look good we look great on paper. You still got to go out there, put in the work, and get after it.
What are your thoughts on Kirk? Have you gotten to know Kirk Cousins at all?
Oh, Kirk's a beast, man. You'd think, a guy like that to have, some success early on. As soon as he got on the field, had some success, made that move with starting him over RG3. He had tremendous success this past season. And I feel like as far as him being a quarterback, and not only a quarterback, but a leader on his team, he plays that role terrific. He comes in every day, works his tail off. And he brings that energy. He brings that energy that
the you like that moment with Kirk is who he is.
Exactly,
that's who he is.
Exactly,
and he's a nice dude. I mean, I've always thought it's hard. I'm buddies with RG3, and I was always a big supporter of RG3. And a lot of people make fun of me because even just this week when I was doing an interview, I was sitting here wearing a Redskins 8 T-shirt, and they're like, "But RG3 is your dude." I'm like, "Bro, love RG3. Hope he kills it in Cleveland." But Kirk Cousins is my quarterback now.
Exactly.
It is what it is. And he's great. And he earned everything he got.
He's looking amazing, man. OTAs, he looked, wow, it was crazy.
Yeah, I think Kirk could be very, very special, especially now that he believes in himself, and I think other people do. One more tough thing to ask you about, the Will Smith situation in New Orleans. Did you have a relationship with him?
Yeah, of course. I played with him, from 2010 to 10, 11. About 4 years. We was on the same team. So,
wow.
There was definitely a relationship, but... it was a very unfortunate incident that happened, man. I was literally out to dinner, and I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. And my mom just called me like screaming, and I'm like, that's crazy. I was just, shocked that it happened, but very unfortunate, man. People just got to be really careful as far as, the road rage. Some guy, matter of fact, like the other week, some UPS guy cut me off, and I'm like, I threw my hands up. He's like, what? What do you want to do? I'm like, nothing, man. I'm out of here. I got up out of there.
I'm so happy to hear you say it. Yo, that's one thing. It's like, someone said this to me a couple years ago. It's so true. Like, people are really messed up, man, because driving is the situation in which, when you think about it,
right,
we should be at our most calm.
Yeah.
You have your life at your hands. You have everyone else's life. Like, we take it for granted, but driving,
facts.
Everyone's life is at risk here. Yeah. So everyone should be real cool. It's the exact opposite. People are at their most over-the-top intense when they drive. Like, someone cuts me off or does something, it's like, bro, you think I'm...
You got it.
You got it. Go ahead.
You got it, man.
I'm okay. No one
I don't
hit
know
me.
what type of day you had, what you just went
Exactly.
into. You could have it. I'm good.
Exactly. Eddie Murphy has a really funny joke about that. All right, now let's talk about you, Cory Finesse. You ready to spit these flames?
Why not? Talk to me, man.
I'm gonna do
No,
something.
I'm coming.
Now we have we have a thing here that we like to do. We kind of throw beats at people that can be throwback a little bit, but that's something that makes sense. So I'm gonna throw you something that to me makes sense
Some
because
fire, man. Don't play
Some
around.
fire.
I'm not. Come on, I didn't say it's not gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be a mix of your background. Let's see. I didn't list it like that. But all right, we need to do it like this. This will come up. Here we go. Let's see how this works. And it's also on some Brooklyn-ish as well. His name's Cory Finesse, by the way. In case, where can people find your music, by the way, Cory?
SoundCloud, YouTube. You can find me.
And your name's
Google.
spelled regular.
COREYFINESSE.
Oh my God, it's spelled
Zoga.
completely properly.
Good intentions, bad decisions. Never thought I'd go to prison. God forgive me, please, for sinning. Was just trying to make a living. Took my focus off of women for these blessings I've been given. But these cops will never get it. They just give you spots to sit in. With a little pot to piss in. Feed you garbage from their kitchen. Hold on. With a little pot to piss in. Feed you garbage from their kitchen. All these thoughts I'm overthinking. Reminiscing. Hold on. Yeah.
You want something else that's weird? Cause your rhymes sound fucking fire.
Facts.
What is the problem?
I'm really freestyling right now.
You are?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm really freestyling right now, bro.
So you're adding to it every time.
Yeah. I'm really free. This is how I work in the studio.
So you're actually putting this together. We're starting from again one more time. Do you like this beat?
I did. Give me a next beat.
You want something else?
Facts.
Let's see. Let me hold on. Let me get
I
something.
like this beat.
Where do you want tempo? Same
Really
kind of
free-
tempo?
Don't matter. Nah, turn up. Turn me
You
up.
want a
now.
little faster?
Yeah. She a bad little hoe. And she feeling finesse. He the god of the zoes. Finesse her out of her clothes. I pull up to your Reggie if not at a show. Out on the road. This is a hit and out on the road. Woo! I wanna go. Hold on. I be flexing, they be mad. Holy shit, I never had my homies hating. Shit is sad. I dropped that bag before my flat. Woo! Trapping hard, out of town in that travel large. The cracking cars in the strip club, getting a back massage. Now I meet the plug and he passing off. He passed the ball. Told me everybody hating on me. I ain't mad at all. Just laugh it off. I see you niggas, you could carry on. In a club now with a couple checks in my carry-on. Couple nights in a Marriott. Bowling like I'm Sean Marion. Oops, I met Sean Marion. He kept talking till I seen him walking out. The paramedics gotta carry him. He is on top. I am a shark. I fuck up his little aquarium. Looking like this in Amsterdam. Hold up. OMG in the Ziploc, smoking weed like this is Amsterdam. Had to tell I John a kick rock. Shorty talking about a sonogram. I hit a lick for about 100 grand. Man, my brother whipping up 100 grams. Woo. That's how I'm coming.
Yo, Cory Finesse, ladies and gentlemen. Junior Galette. Listen, bro, I wish you the best this season.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Of course, man.
We're about to take off this year, though.
I'm very excited, man. And when I say I wish you the best, I'm really wishing me the best because I want to have a good year. and you guys determine my mood quite a bit. We go hard, man. You're gonna
Trust
find
me,
out.
I know. I didn't know how
It's-
how big Redskins Nation was till I really got here and saw that. It's night and day.
It's a lot. People
like-
don't quite realize
Yeah, where I
it.
was just at, I'm like, man, I'm in the nation's capital. That's one of the
didn't
reasons
even
I
know.
stayed too.
Did it?
Yeah, well, people don't realize it because the team's been rough over the last
Right.
2 decades.
Right.
People don't really realize how committed we are as fans.
It's one of the oldest teams as well.
Yes,
So
of course. And we have this.
one of
and I
most
just
loyal
understand
fan base.
people like me grew up Super Bowl in 87,
Facts.
Super Bowl in
Yeah,
91. That's
we
what I
trying
was
to bring-
used
That's
to.
what we're trying to bring back, man.
Exactly. So like the fact the Giants have passed us for
Yeah.
Super Bowls, that bothers me.
It's okay.
Spent a lot of time. So we're gonna get back
Yeah, we're
there.
gonna get back on our feet.
It was a pleasure meeting you,
Facts.
Cory Finesse. I look for more, bro.
Of course, bro.
I'm looking forward to it. Brooklyn, stand up. Real late, Hot 97.